Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Igloo Cinema, and in this episode we're reviewing Warm Bodies. So let me preface this before the review. I have not read the novel entitled Warm Bodies. I'm guessing I'm planning to read it, but I figured I would watch the movie this time instead of reading the book beforehand, because honestly, it feels like when you read the book first, you're always going to compare it to the movie. So I decided to do reverse order, watch the movie first, and read the book. And you may be wondering, how did the movie do? Well, I'm happy to say the movie was very enjoyable. Now, I think what makes this movie different from, say, Twilight or whatever is that this movie is genuinely really funny, warm-hearted, tons of likable characters. All the actors do fine, and it was just an enjoyable movie. Like, it was a fun experience. It was an entertaining experience. You know, there was never a moment where I was, like, really bored or really felt like I wanted to leave the theater. And initially, I'll admit, when I first heard about Warm Bodies, I thought it was going to be another Twilight. I was going to be like, oh, great, another, teen kind of movie with a guy and a girl and they fall in love. But this movie is more than that. It's a ton more than that. It has story. It has heart. And I feel like this is what I'm talking about. Screw the Twilight crap. That's over. Thank God. And this is a new era of book adaptation movies. And it's doing a lot better. And I think Harry Potter started it all. Lord of the Rings started it all. And they did fine. Twilight kind of made a small ditch. But I think we're back up there. And I think Warm Bodies is really, really, the starter of what is going to be an amazing road for book adaptation movies. Now, first let's start off with the characters. Characters are really likable. Most of the characters are really likable. The girl lead, Julie, she's, Teresa Palmer, she plays her fantastically. She's, she kills zombies, but she also has a heart. There's reason for her to be scared of zombies, but she's not like her father, where she's like completely, closed doors about, the zombie R. At first she was like, backing away, but then slowly she got to really like him. And the reason for that, because it's just all the characters interact so well. And I think, Julie does a fantastic job. Nicholas Hoult, who plays R, does a great job when he's a zombie and, he's walking like a zombie. And, like, the commentary, throughout the movie is great. It's funny. You're gonna laugh a lot in this movie, and it's just really warm-hearted. And yeah, most of the characters do fine. The only character I have a problem with was the father, who I felt like there wasn't a lot of motivation for him to dislike zombies. Like, yes, his wife, spoiler alert, I guess, his wife, gets killed by a zombie, and he hates zombies after that. Or, like, he hates them a lot more after that. And you understand that, but they don't develop his character that well for you to actually understand why, he wants to kill these zombies. Because you just end up really disliking him. And he's not a likable character because they don't develop him as much. And you don't get emotionally attached to that character. You don't really relate to why he, hates these zombies so much. So much so that he won't even listen to his daughter when she's trying to explain that R is different. He just wants to shoot him in the head. And without the character development of, they don't even show the wife's face. Like, if you showed the wife's face, we would relate to that character and his motivations a lot more. But you don't. There's no mention of his wife besides her getting killed. No pictures of her. Or maybe there were, but they weren't really, like, focused that much. So he just ends up being very unlikable, and, like, you just don't not understanding why he's being so, anal about this whole situation. But other than him, all the other characters do fine. They're funny. They're hilarious. And honestly, I think, unlike Twilight, the two leads, they have chemistry. You understand why they are, liking each other, why they're coming together. Unlike Twilight, where it's just really awkward all the time. You don't even understand why she even likes him, why he likes her. She seems like a really unlikable character, Bella. But in this, Julie is a very likable character. R is a very likable character. And they have great chemistry together. And, they mesh together pretty well. And you understand why they're starting to like each other. They show scenes of them bonding having a good time. Unlike Twilight, where it just felt forced and unnecessary, this one felt smooth, right on point, and you understood. And, and the dialogue was, fluent. It wasn't awkward, like those teen awkwardness in Twilight again. I know I'm comparing to Twilight because Twilight's the worst of book adaptation movies, and Warm Bodies is way up there with Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. Hopefully Beautiful Creatures and Immortal Instruments are going to be like that too. But yeah, the dialogue was fluent. You got a very good sense of all the characters interacting, and they did all the characters interact well. Especially the two leads. And given the fact that this is a romance movie, also adding to the zombie kind of movie. It's also a romance movie, and they do it fine. They do it well, and you don't cringe when they have romantic scenes together. You're like, oh yeah, that's working out pretty well, and that's how you do it, and that looks natural, and it's just a smooth experience all the way through. So this story, I think, is very strong. It's very creative. From the trailers, you might think maybe it's kind of corny, but honestly, when you watch the movie, it's not corny at all. The jokes do fine. They're genuinely funny. I was laughing out loud for a lot of them. And, the writing is just very fluent. The pacing is very well done. The movie's only an hour and 30 minutes, and it flies by so fast. And I didn't even notice, and I was enjoying it every moment. And, there were some parts where I kind of didn't like, but overall, it was fantastic. And it's like the way they incorporate how they change and whatnot, may seem corny on a surface level explanation, but if you watch it and you dive deep into it, it's actually very creative, and I really liked it. So overall, Warm Bodies is definitely an enjoyable movie. If you read the book, you would definitely like this. If you didn't read the book, like me, you're gonna enjoy this actually. A lot of book adaptation movies, if you haven't read the book, you'd be very confused. But this movie explains the story pretty well. You follow it pretty well, even if you have not read the book. There are a lot of things you're gonna like about it. It's funny, likable characters, the story is creative. Overall, it's just a fantastic movie, and I'm glad I watched it. And at first I thought I wasn't going to like it going into. I was like, I don't know. But coming out of the theater, I was like, I don't regret watching it. It was a fun experience, and paid the money. I'm glad I paid the money, and yeah, I recommend all of you to check it out, especially if you're a fan of the books. But even if you're not, don't be intimidated by the fact that you haven't read the book. It's newcomer friendly for sure, and yeah. So that's it for this review of Igloo Cinema for Warm Bodies. If you like the video, like it. If you like it even more, favorite it. If you like it even more, share it. Subscribe to this channel for updated content. There's going to be more videos coming soon. Especially if you enjoyed this video, more videos like this are coming soon. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. So, let's discuss. First one on